Hey guys, so this episode of Real Estate Neighborhoods in Puerto Vallarta, we're looking at the South Shore. So the South Shore is south of the Romantic Zone. So you've got the Romantic Zone, and then you've got Conchas Chinas, and then if you keep driving south, you have this lovely stretch of coastline uh, with a lot of beachfront condos. So if you can see behind me, that's the Romantic Zone Conchas Chinas down there, and you've got all this bay. And what is very common on this coastline is older, more traditional condos. So condos that are like 20 years old. Often when I'm taking buyers to see condos on the South Shore, it's kind of like the condos are right out of the Golden Girls with wicker furniture and very dated because, you know, 30 years ago, that's when the people purchased. There was the style back then. They've enjoyed their condo for 30 years. Now they're selling it on. So that's over the last 5 years. That was a lot of the condos that I was showing down here because of the nature of the older style building. So on the South Shore, 90% of the inventory are those types of units. Older condo buildings on the beachfront, and they're priced, a two-bed, two-bath is around the 650, 700. A really, maybe a dated one that is not in good condition, maybe in the 580 type price range. And then if you get a 3-bedroom, so that was sort of for a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,400 square foot. If you get a 3-bedroom, 1,900 square foot, then you're up in the 800s, 900s. And then there is one particular building that I love called The Reef, which is a brand new building. It's about 3 years old. That has all the beautiful amenities, the rooftop pool, everything like that, gym. That is quite an expensive building. A 3-bedroom in there, 1,600 square foot, is like 1.4 million. So that is a specific building, the Reef on the South Shore. Otherwise, mostly condos. And then there is a development called Sierra del Mar. Their beachfront condos are larger. They're newer, maybe like 8, 9 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old, around there. The different towers have been built at different times. But they're a much more modern development and a very prestigious development. And they're in the 1.4 million, 1.6 million kind of range for a very spacious 3 or 4-bedroom condo. And that's a nice development. And then there's Sierra del Mar Residences, which is on the other side of the highway. And they're houses, they're large houses. And again, you need to be in the 1.9 million, 2 million, 2.5 million for a house down there. The things to think about on the South Shore is there's one road going from the Romantic Zone south. That road can sometimes get a little congested at different times. So you're not close to restaurants. There's no shops down here. So it's very peaceful living, but it's you can't just walk out of your condo and go to a restaurant. Life is easier if you have a car. You can still take taxis. There are taxis down here. And you can take a bus. I have clients down in condos down here that actually take the bus. But there is a secluded, isolated feeling about down here. But you're on the beach. The water clarity is much cleaner water down here. The beaches are much more beautiful on the South Shore. And swimming much more enjoyable on the South Shore. So that's a little background of real estate on the South Shore. So one of the other things that people love about the South Shore is it's where the mountains, the beautiful, lush, green mountains, come down and meets the sea. So it's very quintessential, beautiful Puerto Vallarta. And then you've got the ocean here. See, lovely you've got golden sand, clear water, and then down there is Los Arcos. But keeping in mind, where I'm standing at the moment is about a 15-minute drive south of the romantic zone. There are condo buildings closer to town that are 10 minutes south, 7 minutes south, and then further south from where I am, you have condo buildings like Sierra del Mar that are sort of 17 to 20 minutes. And that's, I'm talking good traffic. So if there's more congestion on the road, then it's longer. And then you get to Miss Maloya, which is a nice little town. That's about 20 minutes south of the romantic zone. And there's some houses and condos up on the hill there as well. And this is a condo building called Playa Esmeralda. This is a typical, beautiful, slightly older building that has 2 and 3 bedroom condos that come to the market occasionally, but it's these sorts of buildings, and they have amenities. They're not the brand new, rooftop pools, but they do have swimming pools. So this is the common area for a typical slightly older building on the South Shore. But again, to be in one of these sorts of condos, you need to be in the high 600s, 700s, early 800s US dollar. So the South Shore, if you're looking for beachfront condos, you're happy to be a little more isolated, so away from town, 15 minutes drive south of the romantic zone, or 45 minutes, 50 minutes south of the airport, it's a good option. The waters are clearer, it's quieter, very beautiful with the mountains coming down to the ocean. But you do need to, have your head around being further from restaurants and conveniences. You're 40 minutes drive to Costco, for example. So it's a different life. You have to have your head around that. Your budget for a 2-bedroom condo needs to be $700,000, maybe $800,000. But it's how you get beachfront condos in Puerto Vallarta. It's one of the places to come. Now here we are on Playa Negra. It's a beach on the South Shore that can be very popular for people. It's quiet today. It's a weekday that I'm filming this, and we've just recently had a big storm, and it's taken a lot of the sand away. But this would normally be a lovely sandy beach with a great restaurant up here. And so the beach actually is, depending on who you talk to, is one of, well, a lot of people's favorite beach in Puerto Vallarta. And we're about 10 minutes from south of the romantic zone here. Also on the South Shore, it's not just condos, there's a few hotels. We've got the Hyatt on the South Shore, we've got the Hilton, and also Casablanca, which is a mixture of condos, hotel, and timeshares. Okay, so I'm on the edge of consciousness here. The road behind me is the way to go to the South Shore. What I should say is the South Shore is not just condos. If you're wanting a premium beachfront house, the South Shore is one of the places to go. But you need to have the budget. So you can get a beachfront house on the South Shore, generally starting around 3 million US and up. If you go further away, like maybe 20 minutes south, 25 minutes south, you can get a more dated, older, not so well looked after house for maybe 1.6, 1.7 million, but you're oceanfront. And then there's some really fancy houses, 6 million, 5 million. There's a gated community on the ocean called El Paredon. Not many houses in there, but it's a gated community. It has a beach club with a swimming pool, access to a beach. And the houses in there are sort of the $5-6 million range. So if you've got the budget and you really want to be oceanfront, a good option is South Shore for a house, because the other options for beachfront houses is you got to go right up north to Punta Mita. So I hope that gives you lots of information on the South Shore. Reminder, I'm a real estate agent here, so if you want to learn more about real estate and PV, please get in contact with me. I would love to hear from you. And of course, join my newsletter for lots of new listings, new developments. Just go to my website and you can join up there with your email address. Thanks, guys. See you next time.